Liz, what's your favourite book?
Well, it used to be 1984 until that became my favourite reality. So that's not my favourite book anymore because it's depressing. But it seems to be whichever one I'm reading at the moment. And at the moment, I'm reading It's Upstairs.
What is it then?
It's that book about the tarot that Thomas Sheridan recommended. I'll put a picture of it in when we edit it. Right. But it's really amazing. It explains the history of the tarot, how to use it, every single card. And I'm really beginning to understand now that what about the tarot, because of Thomas Sheridan, and he does this talk with Neil MacDonald. So it's like a big journey, like you start off as the fool, sort of like stepping off a cliff but not really worrying about it, and the dog's like, come here you bastard, you're gonna fall off a cliff, but the fool's like, I don't care, I'm following that butterfly, whatever. So the fool's like the baby that's got no fear, but that's what we all need to start our journey. And then it goes to the magician, and he's got this like stick in his hand, and he's getting the knowledge from up there coming down, and the book explains it better than that. So that's my favourite one at the moment.
Right, well thanks for that. What's your favourite film?
Again, it changes depending on what I've just seen. And this used to be The Matrix until everybody likes The Matrix now. It's a bit, I do still like The Matrix. I think I'm just being a snob now. But my favourite one is the one I just watched, Pontypool. That's bloody good, that. I wasn't going to watch it because Mark said it was about zombies, and I don't really like zombies. Well, they're all bloody zombies now, so I was like, no, I'm not watching it. But that's one of the best films I've ever fucking watched. What's the name of the bloke that's the cowboy bloke in real life? Doesn't matter, I'll put it in there.
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant film. I bloody well recommend that. I'll put a bloody Amazon Prime got it for free. Well, it's not free, is it? Because you pay it for Prime. I put a little thing in there. I said, only watch this if you're involved. It's got lots of layers. I like that Pontypool. But Mark's read the book and he said the book's shit.
Yeah, it's nothing like the film. It's a bit of a mess. But
bloody brilliant film, Pontypool. It's nothing to do with Wales. Which surprised me.
Yeah. What's your favourite food?
All of it.
We're moving on then. What's your favourite animal stroke creature of any kind?
Dog.
Yeah. Can you?
Because they're cheeky little monkeys that aren't actually monkeys.
Good. As good an explanation as any. What's your favourite bird? Now,
since this lockdown, I've been feeding birds like nobody's business. So I've had a lot of contact with different birds. British garden birds. So I'm not going to say an ostrich or an eagle, because I've not had any personal experience with those. But it used to be a robin, then it used to be a blackbird, then it used to be a long-tailed tit. They're like Ewoks with feathers. I'll put a picture in. And then we started getting goldfinches are aggressive. They don't like each other, never mind anybody else. Robins, they're not very good at holding on to the bird feeder, so I'm surprised they're not extinct. I think he's going to open the door. No, we're good. Woodpeckers, we get them out there now, and then so we looked up woodpeckers. They've all got dementia because they bang their head. They've actually got brain damage, so I like them because of that. But on the winter solstice, when we were all depressed, I heard this banging, rah, boom, and that was because they were pheasant shooting. And what the brave little soldiers do, they feed up these tamed fucking pheasants, and they let them out into the wood, and then they fucking get this twat to bang something, and the pheasants go fucking hell, and they start flying about, and then these fat puffs just fucking boom, ooh, I just killed a pheasant, I'm a fucking warrior. And so that pissed me off. So I went outside to scare off that fucking squirrel, which I feed now because I got guilt about the squirrels. I've got a little bloody thing out there just for the squirrels now. And there's a fucking pheasant there. He survived the winter solstice massacre. And so we call him Justin, and he comes along every day, every couple of days a week. And so we feed him. And it's quite cute because we go out there with the food and we go, Justin, 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 and we shake it, and he can fucking run in down there, fucking have it. And he likes it. And then we got an upside down Belfast sink, and he stands on their head. It's not that. Surveying his land. So, at the moment, Justin the pheasant.
Right. Good. Well, not necessarily if you could fly like a bird, but just be transported.
I'm not being funny. I've got pheasant feather up there.
Oh.
Which makes me feel a bit like a bastard.
Oh. He died of natural causes. Where would you go if you could just be transported anywhere for a non-lockdown restricted visit?
Where was that place we went to where we had a hot tub and it was Wales, was it?
It was South Wales, Pembrokeshire.
There, because we had a posh yurt, didn't we?
Mm.
It's like a posh tent, but I mean it was like a house, wasn't it? It was like a house made of material. It had a bloody log fire in it. At the time, I was too scared to let Mark touch it. I thought it was going to burn the place down. I'd let you do it now since we've got that fire pit. I'm not as scared of wood. But we had a hot tub. It was a bit too hot for a hot tub. I nearly fucking passed out. But that was, I think, my best holiday. You can keep Kefalonia. You can keep, where's that place we went to, Dubrovnik? You can keep it. Too hot and posers. But I did like swimming in the Adriatic Sea, didn't I?
You did.
I know, I did. Actually, when I can't sleep, I imagine myself floating in the Adriatic Sea. That was fucking lush. Mark, watch what you're doing with the camera.
Yeah. Right.
It's falling off.
Okay. Who do you think you are?
I'm sorry. What am I supposed to say to that?
I don't know. It's for you to think.
Who do I think I am?
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you trying to be fucking clever or something? Well, who do you think you are?
Well, I'm not being interviewed.
Are you watching this to make sure nothing's being shown that shouldn't be? Okay, so if I was to ask you that question, because I don't know, are you sure that's not showing too much?
Well, I can't be sure of anything in this life.
Back a bit then. It's intimidating. Right, who do you think you are?
A person, a husband. I try to every now and then write a bit. Person.
You should have asked me that question because you know who I think I am.
Alright.
And
Okay.
it ain't good.
Oh.
Low opinion. No self-esteem. Working on it. Not a good one.
Where do we go from here? Not just in the interview.
Well, everything's being taken over. All our decisions are being made for us. We can't go where we want to go. We can't say what we want to say. We can't be who we want to be. We can't live how we want to live. So we've either got to put up with that and die somebody else. We've either got to become somebody else and fit into that narrative to try and still become who you were supposed to become, but you have to be more adaptable and more flexible because you've got to do it with other people's restrictions. I don't think those restrictions are going anywhere, but I also don't think these wankers are going to win because nature likes a balance. And I think, like yin-yang, we are now in the year of the ox, well, on the 12th of February, year of the ox, and that is yang, and that's male energy. I could be wrong, but it's what I read last night about 12 o'clock at night. But I think we're male energy, and I think that's supposed to be kind and caring now, and it does say, watch out for your finances. Fucking hell, chill out about spending shit. You can't buy love, it says that. But it's also going to be calmer, better than last year. Because the rat, it was a year of the rat last year, and the rat was a sneaky little bastard, because it was supposed to be the ox before the rat, but the rat said, oh, let's have a little ride on you, Mr. Ox. And the ox was like, yeah, because the ox chilled out. He's like, yeah, all right, come on then. And then just as they got to the finish line, the rat jumped off and got in front of the ox. So he was a sneaky little cunt, whereas the ox was a little bit more laid back and quite nice. So I don't think it's really up to us. I also don't think it's up to them. I think it might be up to celestial stuff that I don't really know nothing about. But I think it's more positive than last year, and I think we need to push into spiritual stuff. I don't mean, well, if you want to fucking go to church, do what you want. I used to do that. I got tattoos and everything about it. I used to run Sunday school. And then I realised that they just bomb people, so I'm like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Well, the Methodists don't. Well, I mean, like, they might do. I don't know. Do the Methodists bomb people? I don't think the Methodists bomb people. That was quite funny, because when my kid was little, he said to one of the women that ran the Methodists, he said, oh, why don't you call yourself the meth heads? And she thought it was a good idea. And I said, you want to look that up before you do that. That was quite amusing. So where do we go from here? We just got to push in rather than out, because out has been taken over by the bastards. So, but in has to a certain extent if you let it, but I think you can push back more if you concentrate on in. So I've been looking up the tarot cards and watch Thomas Sheridan, because he's amazing, and that's it.
So we're following on from that, really. Why bother?
Because if you don't, they've won. Because they don't want you to bother. And I'm very... That's why we're called the Crafty Nihilists, not because we're actually nihilists, but we are sometimes, but because we're quite crafty, not as in we're like, what's a crafty?
Clever, mischievous, clever. Sort of.
We're not clever and mischievous. Crafty as in writing and doing art, and the reason we're called the Crafty Nihilist is because when we do the writing and do the art, we're less nihilistic. So people think, when people see our name, they think, oh, you're nihilist. Well, yeah, we've got a bit of that about us. Have you seen the fucking world? Realists. But by pushing into Mark's writing and art and creating, that helps put the nihilism at bay. So what was the question?
Why bother?
Why bother? Because it's yin and yang. It's not just all dark. The yin-yang isn't just a black circle, is it? And our little logo isn't just black. There's a white side to it as well. So I think you've got to bother. I think that's what the universe is telling you. I think the universe is saying you've got to bother. Stop being an arsehole. Because I also think if you don't bother, what's the ultimate not bothering? Committing suicide? Well, you'll have to come and do it again, mate. So get it fucking done this time round, I say.
Well, again, following on. What's the beginning and the end?
It's the same. Because it's a big circle. But I don't know where it starts and I don't know where it finishes. I don't think there is one. I don't think there's a beginning or an end.
Well, this is the end of the interview. Thank you.
Bye.